I don't know how I'll feel filling in the oval. Um, but I know that if I fill in the no oval, I will have an easier time looking myself in the mirror that night, I think. But it will be a conflicted feeling, I think, filling it in. Yeah. I plan on voting no to the gay marriage amendment. And if you would have told me that 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, I would have been very surprised. Um, about 10 years ago, I was in high school, I was attending a religious high school. And the culture that I was brought up in was very, I wouldn't say anti-homosexual, but it was not something that we were brought up to see as right, and I was very much raised to see marriage as being between one man and one woman. And my attitude towards that is still kind of conflicted. But I think with regard to the marriage amendment, I don't think that it's the position of the state to define what marriage can or cannot be for a person. I can't remember how old I was. It was probably 15 or 16 years old. My family went on a vacation to visit some friends of ours out on the East Coast, and we stayed with them. And I didn't know this before the trip, but they were family friends of ours that were homosexuals, and they were living together, and they couldn't be married, obviously, because of the way that the laws were at the time, and they might still be in the place that these individuals were living. I can't remember. But I remember going into it and having been told my whole life, how horribly wrong this idea of gay marriage was. And then seeing this house where these two people lived, and they were two just the nicest people that you could imagine. And it was a very loving relationship. And I just remember, wondering how anybody could say that that sort of thing should be illegal, or how two people like that couldn't experience marriage the way a man and a woman could in this country because of the laws of the land. It just didn't seem like something that was right to me. It didn't necessarily shock me, it just kind of planted a seed. And as the years went by, I went to college and I gained more friends that were homosexual or bisexual, um, and just more people in my life. There was a greater diversity of people in my life, I guess, and that just sort of has gradually taken me from having one attitude towards gay marriage to another. I don't feel that regular people who are for the gay marriage amendment um, are doing it out of some kind of hatred. I think that they have a sense of right and wrong that is maybe different from yours, but that they don't hate people that are homosexual. On the flip side of that, I would say to people who are voting again or for the gay marriage amendment, who are having trouble understanding those who are going to vote against it, I would say to them that you might think that the people are amoral just because they have different morals than you are. But I think that people who are voting against the gay marriage amendment have just as strong a sense of justice and morals as people who are voting for it. It's just that it's different than yours. I still feel conflicted about homosexuality sometimes, I guess, just because I still am a Christian. I still see myself as a Christian. And there are parts of the Bible where it very explicitly states that it's anti homosexuality. But there's also parts of the Bible where it talks about how God is a God of love and a God of forgiveness and accepting. He's very accepting and all of these things. So sometimes that can be kind of hard for me to reconcile, but I know that that's a personal struggle that I'm probably always going to have. And I think if it's not homosexuality, everyone who is a person of faith is probably going to have those kinds of struggles about something. And that's, I think, precisely why this gay marriage amendment is a bad idea, because those sorts of personal struggles are exactly that. They're personal. And I feel that it's not the place of government to legislate that kind of personal morality that's going to be different from person to person.